Hi Komal, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How about you?
I'm absolutely fine. Thank you for asking. Can you tell us something about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Komal Gaikwad. I'm residing from Nashik, Maharashtra. I have completed my BE in computer engineering from Pune University, and currently I'm having 2.9 years of experience in manual testing as well as automation testing. In manual testing, I have used tools like SOAP UI, Postman, and in automation testing, I have used Selenium Java framework and BDD Cucumber framework. Apart from this, as a part of agile team, I'm included in all the agile activities like daily stand-ups, scrum calls, attending the client meetings and all. And
Yes. Anything else?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Also, I'm included in all the testing related activities like test planning, writing the test scenarios, test cases, executing the test cases, both manual and automation. Um,
Okay,
yeah, that's it.
wonderful. So, which is the automation framework that you are working on?
BDD Cucumber based framework.
Okay, fine. Okay. Now consider there is a scenario, right? You are triggering the test automation every day. And whenever your test automation is running, it fails 1 out of 7 times, right? That is approximately it fails 14%, right? Now you need to debug over here. There is no code change or there is no changes in the test, in the automation script as well. Okay. Now, how will you debug this scenario? Are you able to understand the question? Do you want me to repeat the question?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Consider there is one particular feature that you would have automated. Okay. And now you are the owner of that feature. You have to trigger that automation every day. You have to run that test automation suite every day. Now you observe that whenever you are running, so in a frequency of 7 days, it is failing one time. So you can tell the failure percentage is 14%. The pass percentage is 86%, right? Now you have to debug that why it is failing 1 out of 7 times. And there is one more condition over here. There is no changes in the code or there is no changes in the automation script as well, right? So why is it failing? How will you debug this particular in this scenario?
I will try to execute the code in different environment. Like if I'm checking in trial, then I will check in dev environment or that things or in another system.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's say if it is failing in the test environment, so the code is same in the development and the test environment. So do you think checking in the dev environment or different environment would make a difference over there?
No, it will be same only.
Mm-hmm. Because whatever the code that we are getting in the test environment, the developers are doing some sort of coding testing on that, and then they are pushing the code to the test environment, right?
Yes.
So how will you debug? What will you do in this scenario?
I will try to check the loggers.
Mhm. Yes, yes, that's a good thing. Yes,
Loggers I will
logs you
try
will
to
check.
check where.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Then
Mm,
anything else? Do you want me to help you out in this answer?
yes.
Okay, okay, no worries. See, this is a mock interview. Even if you don't know the answer of the question, that is absolutely fine. Now, if this question is asked to you in a real-time interview, that you know, 1 out of 6 times or 1 out of 7 times your automation scripts are failing in the test automation, right? So, what all things you can debug? So, first thing that you already mentioned was that the execution logs, those are crucial. You will check the execution logs, you will check the error logs at what particular point they are failing, right? Now over here one more thing to identify is we will do the root cause analysis, but then the one more important thing is identification of the exact issue, right? what is the timing of the issue? Like what is the you will be checking whether it is every time it is failing on the same particular day, right? Is there any day of the week that is related? Is it 1 out of 7, or it is failing any one of the day of the entire week, right? So that identification we can do. We can check at what particular, is it failing at some particular calendar date, or is it failing like every Friday it might be failing, might be the machines, every day. So this is just an example. What happens is on Fridays, generally we sign out from all our VMs machines, right? So someone might be turning off the VM in which the automation is running itself. Might be a possibility in the US time zone or in our time zone, right? So you have to identify the failure pattern over here, right? Does it literally fail every 7th time, or it just averages to fail of 1 out of 7 time, right? Then you will check the error log, you will check the execution logs, you will check the timing issues are there, right? So these all things you have to debug. Okay. So whenever these kind of questions are coming in the interview, so you have to tell all these scenario based answers. Like this might be a picture, this might happen, right? Those kind of things you have to tell. Okay. Now, let's say if you are automating some particular application or a page, right? And in that you have to automate a shadow DOM, or you have to automate a nested shadow DOM element. And you are preparing a script via Selenium. So how will you automate shadow DOM or nested shadow DOM elements?
No, I don't have any idea about this.
Okay, no worries. So have you heard about Selectors Hub?
Yes.
Yeah. So Selectors Hub is actually open source extension that is available in the Google Chrome browser, and you can get the shadow DOM or nested shadow DOM element XPath also in Selenium. So in Selectors Hub, right? So if you're automating using Selectors Hub, so you can get the locators, what exactly the locator you have to keep, so that you can get via Selectors Hub. Now the catch over here is we cannot access the shadow DOM elements like other web elements, right? In other elements you will write by.xpath or something like that, but that is not possible in case of shadow DOM elements, right? So what we have to do over in this kind of scenario, in this kind of situation, you have to first locate the host element of the shadow root, right? Then you have to get the access of the shadow DOM using JS through host element, right? It can be called as last element as well, right? So from the last elements, via the last elements, you can access the shadow DOM elements, right? So this is just if you are inspecting the elements, right, from the Google Chrome browser, or if you are using Selectors Hub, you will get it directly from the shadow DOM locator from the Selectors Hub itself. Okay, now consider a scenario where you have to, again, this is an automation based question, right? How will you automate this scenario? So you have to verify a search result list which changes consistently based on each search word and filters. Let's say if you are automating a Flipkart or e-commerce based website, Amazon, if you have entered shirt over there, so accordingly the search results will change. And if you are applying some filters, like you are looking for a shirt of red color, of green color, so accordingly the filters, the results will change. So you have to automate this kind of search result, right? So how will you automate this kind of scenario?
I have to automate the whatever search results will come that is stored in any list.
Yes. So for example, if you want, I can make this question a bit more simpler. So for example, you can say that whichever the search results are coming, that list is sorted based on price or rating or color or any other, attribute, right? Now you are provided this particular list, the search results, and you have to automate these things. So how will you automate this?
Like various attributes are there,
Right.
CSS selectors or
Right.
colors, identifying the colors, or some tag names, attributes.
Okay, so you are telling the CSS selector that you will be using to identify some particular color, right? But over here, Color is just an option. It's just one kind of filter that you might get in that drop down, right? Let's say if you are searching shirt, and in with that search item, there is one more filter that you will have, and that filter can be based on price, based on rating. Let's say you want to go for all the brands who are above 4.5 or 4, right? Or if you want to go for price ranging from 2000 to 3000, or if you are looking for red color shirt, or let's say if it's Independence Day, you are looking for orange color shirts. So these kind of filters options are there, and you have got a search text box. Now you have to automate this particular scenario, that whatever results are coming, those are as per the searched, query or not.
Whatever results are coming, that we can store in a list, and using assertions we can validate, like
Correct.
if I'm searching for shirt or particular red color shirt,
Hmm.
for that I can use assertions
Hmm. Right. So you will be
to
putting
validate.
assertions for all the types of colors, all the different types of filters, whichever are there. Anything else is coming to your mind?
No.
Okay, I'll give you a small hint. Can we go for a loop over here? Loop kind of logic.
Yeah, we can traverse through that list and we can
Yes.
apply different conditions,
Yes,
if
yes,
else conditions we can
right.
apply
So whichever
for
filters
every.
are there, you can create a list of those filters, and then you can traverse via loop, right? Yeah. Now
Yeah,
you can think further on this.
yeah, if we have created only one list, we can apply different conditions on that list using a loop, and also we can create different lists for according to that conditions, and we can traverse through that and apply the condition, apply
Absolutely.
assertions over.
Yes, yes, this is good. So what we will do is we will attack in this kind of scenario. We will attack by automating, by identifying the exact elements, right, that represent the
Yes,
search results. And then we will loop over each instance of a search result to validate the text for my search talk, right?
yes.
Now, in this thing, you might also be asked in an interview. So is there any other method to optimize this particular code, right? How will you how will you make sure that this logic or this solution that you are implementing is reliable? It should not fail, because sometimes when you click on search button, the results might the response time of the displaying of the results might vary based on the product that you have entered. For example, it is very easy for shirt, lots of shirts would be there in the backend. It will display the list in the front end accordingly. For some instances, you might search some particular term which is weird, which is not that much often used, so the search might take some time. So you have to handle these
Yes.
kind of things as well. So how will you make sure that your logic or your solution is reliable?
The response time we can validate, the SLAs we can validate.
Right, right. So you will be implementing weights, right? You won't be going
Yes.
for thread.c. We will be implementing weight. Now, what type of weights will you implement? Will you go for, okay, tell me how many types of weights are there, and which type of weight will you implement in this kind of situation?
Three types of weight are there. First is implicit weight, explicit weight, and fluent weight. in this particular situation, we can go with explicit wait based on the expected conditions, like till the element is visible, like that conditions we can give here in this scenario. It will wait for that element till it is visible, till the list is visible.
Perfect. Okay. Which are the limitations of Selenium? What all things we cannot automate via Selenium?
Yeah, through Selenium, we cannot automate like barcodes or QR codes and CAPTCHA codes are there that we cannot validate. Or if any we are taking any screenshot that is stored only in as a .png format, other extensions are not supported. And reporting is not possible in Selenium. For reporting, we have to integrate Selenium with the TestNG or other like frameworks.
Then we need to have some prior programming language, knowledge, if we have
Yes,
to use Selenium. Otherwise, without without knowledge of programming language, it becomes difficult, right?
yes.
Then it supports
And
testing of only web-based applications.
the best applications, mobile applications or Android apps, it cannot automate.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. Now you are working in automation, right? So if you try to recall the folder structure of the automation, whichever ID you are using, Eclipse or IntelliJ, there are two main folders in that. You are using Maven, right?
Yes.
Okay. So one is src/main folder. Another is src/test folder. So what is the difference between src/main and src/test?
In main, we will have like cleanup and all folders. In test, we will have all our Java classes and resources, everything we will have in our test.
Okay. Okay. So whichever things you have to do testing, that will be there in the src/test. Okay. Now we were discussing about assertions, right? When that search question was there. Where will you keep assertion? Will you keep them at the class level or will you keep them at the page level? So you would be implementing page object model as well, right? You would be creating the pages with respect to the various screens you have in your application. So those pages are there. Then you have to keep assertions as well as the checkpoints. Without assertions, your automation is of no use. So where will you keep those assertions? Will you keep them at the page level or will you keep them at the class
level? At the class level.
Okay, fine. So this question is this is an open question for the people who are watching this video. Where do we keep assertions in our automation scripts, right? Do we keep it at the page level, at the class level? So Komal, you are telling you will be keeping it at the class level, right? Why do you think we should keep at the class level and not at page level? Is there any reason behind that?
It can be depend upon the feature also where we have to keep the assertions.
Okay. Okay, but in case of Cucumber BDD, you will be having a feature file, right? So in a feature file, you won't be able to keep assertions. In the feature file, you will be just placing given, when, then, whichever the keywords are there, right? So
in step definition file only we can keep assertions.
Okay, in step definition file, you will be keeping assertions. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
That is your answer. Right, no worries. Let us see what people are giving answer to this question. Right. Okay. What is a binary tree?
Binary tree we can traverse from both the sides.
Both the sides means you are mentioning from left and right. Is that what you are?
Right.
Okay. So first of all, see, a binary tree.
Linear search and binary search, two types are there. Like
Right.
in linear search, we will search sequentially. In binary, we can search from left and right, both the sides.
Okay. Now, generally, a binary tree is what it will. It is a tree who has elements and have at most two children, right? Since each element in a binary tree can have only two children, we typically name them the left and the right child, right? Now,
Yes.
can you tell me the various parts, like what does binary tree node contain? What does it contain? So this is again with reference to binary tree data structure I'm asking.
Yes, yes. Index value.
No,
I
generally
am not
see,
able to.
yeah, no issues, no issues. See, binary tree node will contain the following parts. One is data, second is pointer to left child, and third is pointer to the right child, right?
Yes, yes.
That's how you can tell. Now consider there is one scenario, right? You have developed the automation scripts, you ran it. After execution, you came to know that one particular case is not working. You have raised a ticket, and the developer is working on that, right? Still, the fix is not completed from their side. Fix is in progress, right? That is the status from the developer. Now you need to run the automation suite every day, right? Now that particular one particular test case you need to skip, right? And you are using TestNG. So which TestNG annotation will you be using over here, just to make sure that that particular test case is getting skipped, but other test cases are getting passed or executed?
In TestNG, we can use exclude.
Exclude, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So have you heard about TestNG annotation enabled?
Yeah, enabled and disabled also we can use.
Right.
Yes, enabled is equal to true or enabled is equal to false we can give.
Correct, correct. Okay. Now consider a scenario where you have 20 test cases for automation, right? Out of those 20 test cases, you have to identify 6 test cases. Okay. And you have identified them for smoke testing. Now, out of 26 are for smoke testing, 14 are for regression testing. Is there any annotation in TestNG with the help of which you can, club your test cases?
Grouping.
Correct, correct. Groups is there, right? So you will be grouping them under smoke suit, or you can keep them under regression suit, right? So you can club your test
Yes.
cases into a single group and specify the specified group you wish to execute in your TestNG XML file.
Yes.
Okay. How do you perform cross-browser testing in Selenium?
Cross browser means running the same features on different browsers like Internet Explorer, Chrome,
Correct,
and Firefox.
correct. Yes.
Yeah.
So can you tell me how will you perform cross-browser testing in Selenium? Is it possible via TestNG, or have you worked on Selenium Grid?
No, on grid I have not worked.
Okay, no worries. That is fine. Okay. Can you tell me how you have implemented these OOPS concepts, polymorphism, inheritance, encapsulation, abstraction in your framework? Or give us some example of these OOPS concepts that has been implemented in the framework.
Okay.
You can start from any one of the concept first. Let's say inheritance is there. So you would have created one base class. In base class, you would have mentioned those Chrome drivers, WebDriver manager also
Yes.
you would have mentioned, right? Then this particular
Yeah.
base class you would be extending in your parent class, right? So that is inheritance. Extends keyword is used, right? Now on the similar lines, you can tell me about other three OOPS concepts.
Like encapsulation we can use, we can just initialize any method and we can define that in another class.
Okay. Then how about abstraction and polymorphism?
Polymorphism. Polymorphism is multiple instances of the same type. Like multiple feature files or multiple step definition files we are creating.
Mhm. Aslam, can you please wait for 2 minutes? You can join the same link after 2 minutes. Okay. Anything else, Komal? Are you able to recall this answer?
No.
Okay, no worries. So you can revisit these concepts of OOPS concepts, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction. These things will be definitely asked in an automation interview. Okay, Komal, I'm done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, what will be the feedback for me?
Yeah. So feedback is, see, you have got the exposure on from the automation front. So that is very good. You have been working on BDD Cucumber framework. Now you have to just work on real-time scenarios. Let's say in an interview, if you will go for uh, some standard companies like TCS, Infosys, they might ask you the direct questions, right? If you are looking for SDET kind of an interview, if you are looking for Google or Amazon, they will ask you questions on data structure. So binary tree and all those things will come to you, right?
Yes.
And so you have to prepare on the real time scenarios, right, which are the scenario based interview questions that are asked. So in, for example, in this particular situation, how will you react? In this particular scenario, what will be your response? How will you tackle this thing? So these kind of scenario based questions will be asked to you, right? So what you have to do is you have to apply the thought process on these kind of things in the interview, right? So you can practice such things. Then you can revisit concepts of data structure and OOPS concepts, right? OOPS concepts will definitely be asked. It might be asked directly, or it might be asked like, how have you implemented in the framework, right? So you have to give examples, right? Then you can learn about Selenium Grid as well, right? Selenium Grid, TestNG in detail, right? I think rest all things were good. No need to worry, right? Just revisit these concepts. I think because you might be giving interview after a long period of time, so you need some kind of revision on all these concepts. So daily 1 hour, 2 hours, 30 minutes, whichever as per your convenient time, right? Don't take pressure and prepare for interview, but prepare for the interview in a calm manner, in a cool manner. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Komal, all the best for your job search, all the best for your career. And please let us know once you get a job. We will be happy to have you on our channel who will be sharing success story with us. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah. Thank you for conducting my